So how important is it that Snapchat expires, it disappears? It's a day in the life and then it goes away after 24 hours.
I think that's the most attractive part of it. Not necessarily because people are doing something bad or posting anything bad, but maybe it's because you, on Snapchat, you maybe only have 100, you maybe even only have 50 like followers or friends or whatever they're called. Where on Facebook you could have 500, 600, and Facebook and Instagram, they do seem more public. Snapchat, you feel, is more private to you. So I think the idea you post kind of who you really are, I think kind of comes out on Snapchat. And sometimes that's not what you want to convey to everyone else. So the fact that it can kind of go away, and maybe if you do something stupid, you post something funny, it's not necessarily there forever. So you might regret doing something like really stupid, funny, falling during that cartwheel. And it's not there forever. I think it's the biggest, that's the main attraction of it.
And with the annoyance factor too, like she was saying, if there's like a 70-second story and you start clicking through like, okay, let's see what this person's doing, they must be doing something cool. Well, if it doesn't appeal to you, you can just exit out of it, and it's not going to stay on your feed or on your phone for more than a day. It'll disappear, and without you having to click through every single one.
I think like as human beings in general, we're just like, we can be really nosy, and like we really like mysteries, and we like to know what people are doing all the time, because like, especially being teenage girls, like that's a huge thing for us. Like we want to know what's going on. So I think that's why Snapchat appeals to not like I think everyone in here, we're a very young age, you know, like we all know what's going on, we all want to know what's going on, and I think it's really important to see like how people are acting, and especially like the people that you hold close, or like some people that you want to know, like some famous people, and it's really cool to see things you wouldn't have been able to see like 10 years ago, like a day in the life of, like it's really, really, really cool what technology does these days.
And I know not a lot of students or younger kids, the newspaper or the news is very appealing to them. And for me personally, Snapchat is it's nothing close like the news, but it shows a little bit of everything. So I think that's a really great way of kind of understanding and sinking in everything that's happening in the world. So by even just having Snapchat, like that's one way of getting the news across the world. So I really like that about Snapchat. And going off of the disappearing thing, if you always really wanted that picture or that video, you can always save it. So I think that's also great about Snapchat's disappearance.
Especially with the new news bubbles that are coming up. There's like one for ESPN, one for People, one for Cosmopolitan, and I love those, especially the ESPN one. Like you said, with the school news thing that we do. I'm mainly the sports reporter, so I look at that every day, and it's like quick 10-second thing, and then you can scroll down if you want to read more. You can send a screenshot of that to your friends through Snapchat, which I love because it's different than going on like LAtimes.com and having to like scroll through the articles. It gives you quick snippets of everything, and then you can read more into it if you want to, which I love. Like ESPN one every day I watch, and it's cool.
And then really quickly going back to the question, like how important is it like for it disappearing? That's a huge factor, because I feel like especially now, a lot of people have trouble with like privacy. And so being able like to send a message or a photo that like won't end up online somewhere unless Snapchat decides to pull it out for like some, I don't know, weird reason, gray area once again, but yeah.
But the fact that Snapchat is keeping all this up doesn't deter you guys out?
It definitely is a little iffy. I mean, once again, like I had a general idea that they would keep them, because I think like any other server, any other social media, they always have it. Even if you delete it, they have a record of it. But I think it's the fact that unless they have a reasonable reason to take that out, they don't, and they won't, or else you can sue them and get like, it's worth 19 billion, so you can get quite a bit of money for that. But like, I think it's really important that it disappears, because once again, like privacy is kind of a dwindling thing in our society, So, especially being a teenager, we want to be able to like have as much leeway as we can before we like go out or thrown out into the real world. So, yeah.
And just don't be stupid. Like a lot of people are like, they're like, there's classes you can take about like what's smart, like your light, bright, and polite book, and it's like those are super nice, but literally just use your brain. Like, do I want the whole world to see this or not? And that's how you know if you could post like, do you care if there's an ugly picture of you? Like, someone sees it in a different state, like that one guy, and if you don't care, then by all means, it's like that's your decision. But don't post something like illegal substances or something, because that happens to someone last year. He posted on his story of him with illegal substances, and someone was like, okay, you have the semifinal basketball game tomorrow, like what are you doing? And so, like, an administrator ended up seeing it on accident and he got suspended. So it's like, just be smart, please. Like, I mean, you guys all will, but out to the kids out there. Totally fans.